Hi, welcome to the Cultural Barrier. My name's Belle.
And my name is Taj.
On this week's episode, we'll be discussing should we be idolizing other people? Now, Taj, go for it.
So I was just thinking, like when we were younger, we looked at pop stars, we wanted to be like them, we
I want to be like you.
wanted to dance like them.
I want to dance like you.
Is there a song to everything I say?
Is there a song too? Sorry, go on.
And also, when you get older, you might, I don't know, work in certain places, and you're like, look up to the person. Is it right for us to do it, and also to encourage our young people, our kids, to
Mhm.
go and idolize people? Not necessarily idolize, but be like, oh, I want to be like them.
I
And then
want to be like you.
my perspective on this is is okay in certain circumstances, okay too, but then when you find out about that person and something negative comes out of it, does
Mhm.
that shock you to the system? And should you carry on still following them and be like, okay, all right, there's a bad bit to them, but I'm going to pick the good bits from them? Over to you now.
I think that's an interesting discussion point
Mhm.
because when you told me that this was going to be the topic, I was like, no, I think there's a whole thing with idolizing. But actually, if you look at things like mentorship, right, it's something that we've been doing work in, especially for young people,
Yeah.
right, but even people that are older, right, and we found it ourselves. The mentoring process is so important. You're literally learning off someone else's experience. They do know more than you.
But are
They
you idolizing them then? What, I suppose, what does idolizing mean? And are we talking about idolizing as in, oh, I want to be like them, or is it like, oh, it would be good to reach where they've reached, and I respect them?
I think basically from how I'm seeing it, it's levels. So I think if you are like that whole mentorship thing would be you're learning from them, you're taking their experience, you're listening to their thing. And at the end of the day, how you do it is up to you, but you're learning from someone else. And I think that's the most important thing. To be fair, being the youngest daughter in, a whole load of our cousins, it has been helpful being the youngest because I can learn off all of the mistakes.
Can you say
No,
it
but
out?
it's true. What do they say? A smart person is someone that learns from their own mistakes. A smarter person is someone that can learn from someone else's mistakes,
Good point. Yeah,
right?
fair point.
And I think it's important. Like we're going through generally the same sort of stuff. So if you can learn from someone and not make those mistakes, I think that's a good thing,
Yeah,
right? Idolizing goes further on the scale of everything that person does is amazing. Doesn't matter what it is, they are right.
like blind faith almost.
Blind faith, yeah. And then I'm like, we've been in the situation where we listened to people and negative things did come out from them. But then looking back, and I think you know who I'm talking about, right? But actually, we did get some positive things about them. Would I carry on talking to them and, not idolizing, but following them? No, because that was what they were.
Yeah.
But then this is where it sort of comes into it of, do you sort of whoever you see something good in, don't learn too much about them because at the end of the day they're still human, they will make mistakes, and that's where the problem is. Then you'll
I'm going
realize
to talk about that situation you were talking about. Like, we did respect this person a lot and we hung off every word of this person. And to be honest, it was a great hit to
it
me,
was.
and it affects me till this day, whatever, that I respected this person to the point of where I thought this person was right about everything. And it's made me now double think myself. If I talk to someone, are they really telling the truth?
But does that come with age? Because then when you're younger you think that whatever you see is what they are, but actually as you grow up you know
Yeah.
that we're all full of shit.
No, or we all feel a shit, or is it just because we realize everyone's human and they're going to make mistakes?
It's that.
It's about how bad the mistakes are.
That was a flippant comment, sorry.
But is it about how bad the mistakes were and if they were intentional? I think that's what matters. If they were intentional and devious and manipulating, then that's different. Whereas if it was just a mistake, the meaning of mistake is an accident, right? Then I think that's something different. Then you're like, okay, forgive it, carry on. But then I suppose we should see the person as a whole.
Well, it depends on what happened because some mistakes are not just you can sweep it under the rug and carry on. Some mistakes have serious consequences on other people.
Yeah, for example, I'm just going to think of celebrity. That guy that looks like he's from Pirates of the Caribbean, but he isn't. What's his name? He does podcasts as well. And he was married to Perry. What's her name? The singer.
Oh,
I've forgotten his name.
Russell.
Russell, yeah. Yeah, I thought, yeah, he just seems like a really like hippie kind of person, and one that I would think, hey, he's cool. And then you found out other things. I don't know if they're true or whatever, but then you found out other things that he's done. He's abused people, whatever. Whether
Allegedly, I think.
allegedly, I don't know if it's true or not. But then it makes you think, okay, how much should we even be encouraging our children to think, oh, you should be like that person?
Let me go one step further. Now, obviously, we talk about the South Asian community a lot. Now, there is a lot of following people in the South Asian community. Whether it's mainly religiously. You see the Bobby from India and all that sort of stuff, and there is big negativity, but actually, there's some good in it as well, right? And this was a conversation I was having last week with someone, and they were like, "Oh yeah,
Important because you can't remember who it was.
no, I know who it was. They're very important because it was Dad." Um,
I didn't say that.
well, I don't want to bring it, but anyway.
But anyway,
And he was saying that like someone didn't like all Bobby and whatever, and we were saying, well, actually, not everyone. You can't tar someone with the same brush like everybody. However, they have got a bad rep, right? Because a lot of people have taken advantage of their position, including people like the celebrities and stuff. They take advantage of their position. And I was watching something on this morning. This was a while ago about, let me remember who it was about. It was about, Hugh, something Hugh,
yeah, the
news
newsreader.
reporter guy,
Yeah.
right? And it was his publicist that came on, and he was trying to not defend him because he'd done something wrong, but he was saying there seems to be a whole mental health issue thing for celebrities where they're doing this.
Oh wait, so there's a reason behind it, really?
Perhaps, because then he went off and there was a mental health thing going on. But is it actually the fact that they've abused their power, which happens a lot? You look at the Jeffrey Epstein, the Trump stuff, Prince Andrew stuff, right? It's an abuse of power. That's literally all it is. And then they chuck in the fact that they've got mental health issues. The mental health issues.
Yeah, yeah.
But we don't.
Excuses.
Well, I don't know. That's what the publicist is saying. But it's the same sort of thing, especially within the South Asian community. You do get people taking advantage of the situation, or you've got people that genuinely have got knowledge that should be shared.
Okay, I'm going to lead on to, there was someone in the community that was really respected and everyone used to follow this person.
Mm-hmm.
And now this person's moved away or whatever, and you hear, I've heard a lot of stories about negativity, basically abuse of power from women mainly.
Okay.
That have
I'm
come
always trying to be like, who is she talking about?
I'm not going to say who it is because
I'll conclude it by
there's people that are going to be really offended by it. So I'm not going to say who it is. And there's going to be other people that are like, I'm glad that you exposed it. So basically, abuse of power.
No, what happened in that situation? So I can figure out who it is.
No. Anyway, so abuse of power.
Boring.
And then you've got other people that are like, oh my God, I can't wait to follow this person. And you're then in the situation of, should you expose what has been said, but then this might just be hearsay, right? Because sometimes there is a whole thing of when you get higher in a community that some people like to sling mud.
Yeah, fair.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't know if it's actually true or if people are making that up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you tell them about that, or is that gossip and is that stirring basically? Or do you be like, yeah, okay.
It's a bit tough though, isn't it? I don't know, man. I think that's tough because a few episodes ago we were talking about, the South Asian community always pulling each other down. And when you get to a certain level, it's tough because you do get why people that are celebrities and stuff have those opportunities to abuse power. You get it.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be around celebrities and I was there. There was something I read ages ago. I don't know if it's true, but I saw it on social media. I should have probably just checked, right? It was about, I think it's Thierry Henry or one of the footballers. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
He basically, someone alleged that she got raped, and by chance his laptop was accidentally on. Apparently, accidentally. I don't know if it's true, and it had caught the whole thing, and it turned out that it wasn't. And the problem with situations like that is you've got real victims.
That's really out of order. That's the lowest of the low, I would
It
say.
is low because you've got real, and women have, or people, not just women, men as well, have real problems. Firstly, like
Get through the court system, being believed, first of all.
being believed, and apparently there's a very low number of cases that actually get believed and go through that. And so when you've got situations like that, it's just, there's no defense for it. It's wrong, man. You're screwing over so many people, right? But going back to, should we be idolizing people,
So wait a
or
minute, I'm just going to go back on this. It's not about being believed. There are a lot of supportive services out there,
yeah,
right? In situations like this, it's more about being believed in the community that you're in rather than services supporting you, because there are a lot of services and a lot of work going into this.
yeah,
So if you are going through this, please do report. I think that's a really important thing to say.
yeah. But going back to whether we should be idolizing people, I think humans are humans, man. Take the positives from people, but if once you start engaging too much with people, I just find that you're gonna find something out that you don't like, and then it sort of ruins those positive things that you got from them. And people will have positive things about them as well.
Everyone has something positive. Even Trump does. He's got a nice wig.
Okay.
They're
But
doing what no one else does. Whether
yeah,
good or bad, he's still doing it. Not that I like him, but still, he's
I
doing
know
it.
there are certain bits, certain things that can be positive from him as well. Like he gets a lot of negative media. Truth Social is no, I'm joking. I'm joking. I don't. I'm trying to think. Be the other perspective is what I'm trying to think. But what I'm saying is, it goes back to, I feel like the community. We're becoming so individualized now. Even this, what I just said of, don't follow someone too much. Again, you're just becoming, your circle's becoming so small.
No, but I think it's okay to follow it, to aspire to someone, to
Yeah.
aspire to be something. For example, it might be that they become an MP, for example, because we keep thinking about politics, right? And you think, okay, this person can do it. Like, for example, with us, I'm going to big us up again. Why not? So
Okay.
people have seen two South Asian women that can do it, and they've thought, actually, they can do it. Why can't we do it?
Mm.
And we've had quite a lot of people be like, oh, I do want to do it. I'm not saying that everyone says that because that just sounds big headed, but it's about, I like that. But it's about aspiring. And there's nothing wrong, I think, with encouraging our children to be like, okay, you could be like this. Oh, for example, if someone's got dyslexia, that's a good one. That shouldn't hold you back. Then you're showing, okay, this person had dyslexia and they got on with it and they've done really well. So sometimes there's some negative things that happen in life that you think, oh my God, I can't achieve this. And if you have someone to aspire to, you're like, actually, this person had this issue, but they've overcome that and used it as a positive and flipped it around.
But then this is the whole thing. This is what I sort of get. Like, take the positives from people. Like, don't actually find out what they really like because everyone's got something negative.
But then is that being naive that you're not trying to find out? Not that you go around
We're not going to
Googling.
follow them. We're not young anymore. Like, we're not like teenagers where you want to follow them. No.
Yeah, I think this might just be us. As you get older, you don't have anything to aspire to. I'm joking. No, you do meet people in life and be like, oh my God, for example, one of our mentors, we're like, wow, they've done really well. And I want to be like them. They're still really grounded and they support people, even though they've got a lot of things going on in their life, in their business life, in their personal life, but they've come and supported us.
Yeah.
And that's like, okay, we should do that as well. Why not?
And do you think it's that? Therefore, like from what you've just said, is it has to work both ways. Yes, you look up to someone, but if they should also be supporting as well, and then it becomes a sort of
A
a
relationship equal,
relationship. Then
equal then.
not equal because I still think she's better than we are, but like, there's that relationship. Like we can text. I can text her now and like have a
Do
bit
you
of a
want to
joke.
give a shout out to our mentor, very
It's
first?
always going to be Vicky. We're a big fan of Vicky, right? Um,
But it's about what the person that you're aspiring to be. Are they humble as well? Or in the situation of our mentor Vicky, she's very humble. Like you wouldn't think that she's so high in her organization, but she is. But she talks to us like every day.
that's always nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky. But
But
she,
then, okay, so let's go back because there was something I saw on. Let's go back to the topic of idolization. So that whole thing about Barbie, there was something that I saw a
wait,
while
should we
ago.
explain what a baba is? Because it might be some people in the community might not know what that is. So it's just a religious leader,
Yeah,
kind of. Yeah.
religious, like loosely sometimes. And basically, it was someone that wasn't from India, but he'd gone to India. He was a white man
Oh
because
yeah. It is.
people started following him, and he's like, it makes good money, man. You make
And
good
you
money.
don't encourage that.
And I don't encourage it, but I did say to my husband, like when we went to India, I was like he looks like he could be a blubber, but I did say to him, just don't open your mouth because you don't know much.
Just look the part. Don't be the part.
Good money. Obviously, I was joking. I know, like all of these are flippant comments, but I think what people portray on the external sometimes isn't in the internal, but you can't see what's on the internal, and that's the
That's with
problem.
everyone.
Yeah,
Like we're like that as well. Like at home, I'm a moody cow and always like thinking, "Oh my god, I want to go to sleep."
yeah,
But you can't show that to the world because you know that no one's going to want to interact with you if you're like that out there. So you
exactly.
have to put on that facade.
On this podcast, I'm a proper bitch with loads of flippant comments, but actually, in real
I'm a softie. Yeah, right.
life, I am. But anyway, so idolization. Where are we on the scale of
It
loving it?
depends. It depends. Also, we haven't quite put the explanation because we're aspiring, just people to aspire to, and then idolization, where you go blind faith almost.
That's the blind faith is the bit where it is, and I don't agree with following it. The humans are humans, man. We're all like got problems. So anyone that wants to follow me, just understand I'm not perfect. I'm close, but I'm not perfect. Flip and comment. Flip and comment. Anyway, go on. So anyway, in conclusion, are
Well,
you waiting for me?
oh, sorry. Everyone's judgment is their own, but be careful and treat people like they're human. There's always going to be something that negative that comes out, but that's the way of the world, and it's a case of how you take it. If it's something really negative and it harms someone, then I would not want to carry on even look.
Yeah, but sorry, before we do the conclusion, if there is, I suppose it could be gossip as well, but if there is something really serious that is brought about someone,
Mm.
right? Where do you sit on that scale? Because
If it's like,
especially,
yeah.
hold on, especially I saw something again, social media. That is my usual place where I
Oh, I've got an example as well. Yeah.
right. There's someone that's doing. I never used to think about the work that she's doing, but she's really bringing awareness about rape cases and sexual abuse within the South Asian community, right? And there was a post that I saw where she was talking to someone in the community who had said something negative about her, and she really went for it. Now, I don't completely agree with how she went for it because I think it was slightly rude, but she was right for doing it. And I just I think there is I never used to say this before, but there is a big system which is against women. And I know that sounds like a
Yeah, believe me.
I never used to think that before, but now being in the work that we are, you see it firsthand and you're like, how is that even allowed? Like, it's crazy. So you do have to fight for yourself because there's no one else that's going to fight for you.
You said that about that particular lady that was being rude, but we don't know the whole situation of what happened, and maybe that person was rude before.
No, he was. No, he was rude from what I understood. I
So
don't know
then
the
it's right for her to be rude back. You don't be pretty back and nice back, or
Yeah,
sometimes, yeah,
it was uncomfortable. Watch.
yeah, and slide mate or whatever they call it.
No, I don't think she was wrong in doing it because he wasn't listening. And as a woman, like she's doing some fantastic work.
She's
Like,
doing amazing stuff.
yeah, so it's really hard not to. But I
Oh,
think,
so wait a minute. Let's lead on from what you've just said. If we find out, generally anyone, that there's something that quite a lot of people have complained about this person that is really high in the community, do you think you should stay quiet about it
Yeah.
and be like, there's a lot of people that love this person? Or do you think it should be a case of that you actually try to sort it out and confront it?
I think there's a big problem in the fact that sometimes people are too aggressive.
Yeah.
And then that turns people off, and you are pushed out of communities because you're too aggressive about situations. I'm not saying they're wrong, but as soon as you start putting people's backs up, and as soon as I've said that, you know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about. As soon as you start putting people's backs up, those barriers are up. You're not going to get what you want out of a certain situation. So sometimes you've got to take the hit, but that does mean sometimes staying quiet about
I
situations that,
don't think it means quiet. I think it means being polite about, for example, if you are, okay, I'm trying to be really sensitive in what I'm saying, but it's about, yeah, picking your battles. You don't have to be aggressive all the time. It might be that you're polite, and sometimes that annoys the other person as well, that you're being polite and there's nothing to fight back against. And
mm,
so the community are like, actually, that person, for example, me, is being polite. Why are you being aggressive? You're wrong.
yeah. But and this is something we said on a previous episode just a little while ago, of actually the way you sometimes deal with situations where it is like, I'm not fighting it, like quite you are calm, and I am, sometimes, not all the time. She does fight with me. That's something for mum and dad to know as well. Right? Sometimes it's not my fault, right? But sometimes it is good just to,
Another thing as well, if it's a woman being the one that fights
yeah,
back, the community look like, oh my God, she needs to control herself. But if it was a
yeah,
man doing that,
yeah,
then
100%.
you need to kind of look at the situation. I don't think it's right, but you need to look at, not that you're doing it for the world, but you need to look at that situation and be like, actually,
What
how
works in this situation?
you need to play the situation.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree with that.
Women are always seen as, oh my God, always bringing
Crazy.
up the negative. And
Yeah.
that's so wrong. And it isn't the case. It's the narrative that is put out there. Just because a woman stands up to someone or for something, that they're seen as being wrong,
Yeah.
bitchy.
Yeah.
And to that person, that's again going back to what this podcast is about, someone from like a high position or whatever, someone that everyone aspires to or
Do you know
wants to
what? I think
flex.
I saw a clip, I think it was yesterday or today, whatever, where someone
We've got a lot
someone
of
went,
smart ones, haven't we?
yeah, see, this is the thing. It goes back to that aggressive thing. If we start naming where these people are, this becomes a very,
Bitch calling.
yeah, it's a bit of a toxic
And we're not like that.
situation. And so whoever is on the other side of it, if you've understood that that situation is about you, just like know that that's the energy you put out. But actually, we're not calling you out. That's your energy to deal with, not for us to deal with your situation. Whereas on social media, as soon as if we were to say someone's name and that goes out on social media, it becomes a toxic situation and that person hates us. I mean, we've spoken about a lot of people, but it's very rare that we've named
I
those
don't think we've
people.
ever named anyone. No, we haven't.
Exactly. And I think we prefer that situation. It's a learning for us, to be fair. But going back to the whole point of idolizing and whether we should be following someone. So I saw a clip the other day or yesterday, whatever it was, where the response of social media, someone's in someone's face, like, "Oh, answer this question," and it was to someone South Asian. It was a white man to a South Asian guy, and he was so calm. You could feel the calmness sort of coming off of him,
I
and
love
he answered the questions really well, and he knew what he was talking about. So it's about education. He quite clearly was the smarter person in the room in that situation, and he was just so calm in the way you deliver it. And I am going to compliment you on this bit. I think that calmness is something I need to take on, because actually sometimes in a lot of situations, if you just are calm, and I can be a bit crazy sometimes, it does diffuse a situation, and it is the right way to go about it sometimes, not all the way. So you can be nice.
that. I like
I
that.
bet you want to finish on that one, innit?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah. On that note, do we agree with idolization and following someone? Take the positives out of the situation, but don't get too far into the situation, because you'll always find something negative. And on that point, it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.